Well, hello there, and welcome, my Capricorn Collective Sun, Moon, Rising Sun. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this new moon in Sagittarius to full moon in Gemini, 2019, November into December. I am your reader. 4 planets in Virgo, fellow Earth sign. President of DrawingTheCircle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, Mark Angela Lyons, Mal for short. Consider me an Earth sign sister. Here to serve, right? If you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe, because I'm building up my numbers bit by bit. Gonna do super live chat eventually, and once a month. For the first couple of months, I'll do drunk tarot, something that if you've already been watching. If you're new to the channel, it's like, what? But I've been saying it for the past couple of series because I did a party. I had a lot of fun. I did not drink because I never drink when I read professionally. But towards the end, I did a little bit. And, you know, I wasn't reading professionally, but it's just, you'll see. You'll see. To my subscribers returning, thank you so much for following along. I'm giving you my best in the most blessed fashion that I can pull it off. Let's clarify some things. This is a general read, okay? I read lots of people privately. So I know the difference between the two. When you're scanning the quantum threads of a zodiacal collective, sun, moon, anything, right? Sun, moon, rising, I'll throw in Venus on occasion, Mercury on occasion. It's hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, depending, right? So take what resonates. If it doesn't click, don't bend your brain that way. Don't try and make it fit. Don't crack up. Bend your brain. See both sides. Throw off your mental chains. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Howard Jones. No, check your other sides. Not your read this time around. And I do plenty of them, right? And there are plenty of readers on YouTube. So please be kind if it doesn't resonate for you. What do I need read is a very simple thing, really. It's like going to a daily oracle, and instead of a card of the day or a rune of the day or what have you, it's saying, all right, what do I need, right? What do I need? It does take a certain humility, the grace of humility, to know that I do not know. And maybe I don't need to know, but I'm willing to. I'm willing to be shown. There's less pressure in it, the grace of humility. Because when are we ever rewarded for not knowing particularly what we need? So to come forward to the divine is just a good thing to do, right? It's really saying, hey, look, best laid plans of mice and men. I don't know what I need. You show me, and I'll do my best, right? That's what these are for. So we're going to be doing this for this new moon to full moon next. Please do remember to breathe. And let's dive in. Here we go. Nice deep breath. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. What is the dominant archetype in the Caroline Mesa archetype deck? All the decks are in the description box at the bottom. One card in clarity for this Capricorn collective sun, moon, rising sign. What do they need? What is the dominant archetype they need to alchemize from lead to gold to strengthen within them for this new moon to full moon next, this Capricorn collective? Oh, we've got the rescuer archetype, one of the healing family of archetypes. I don't have this one. I do not have this one. I'm not a rescuer. I'm a healer. There's a difference. Fine lines of distinction. Every archetype is lead and gold. Oh, here we go. Take a dip. Breathe. Because the shadow of any archetype is toxic, obviously. Lead, right? That's why I prefer the language of alchemy. People get it. If you get lead in your system, you're fucked. You get fucked. You get gold in your system. It's actually a healing. It's the difference between an insulator or a conductor, right? Shadow attribute assumes that the rescued will reciprocate. Keeps the rescued one needy, right? Like you just, yeah, sure, I'll rescue you again and again and again. I'll do what I want you to do. It's like so part of a codependent strategy, right? So you're shooting for the light attribute here. Provides strength and support to others in crisis, right? Strength and support. That's a good part of a rescuer. Like, it's not always about throwing yourself into the danger all the time, but providing strength and support to others in crisis. Acts out of love with no expectation of reward. So, you know, a lot of what we think of as superheroes, right? We call people heroes. Actually, they have the rescuer archetype, because the hero archetype is different. The hero is on, has a passion for a personal path of empowerment, which is a lot of P's in one sentence, by the way. Right? So that rescuer, like, now, do you know how many people I know that are animal rescuers? I dated a ferret rescuer guy back in the 90s. I mean, waking up in the morning was an experience with a field day of ferrets in the bedroom, but it was the 90s. He's a sweetheart. He married somebody else, bless his soul. I have cats. So that rescuer thing, right? But are you rescuing people expecting something in return? It's because honestly, if it's negotiated, if it's like, I will be glad to let you stay here, but here are the rules of staying here. Right? Like if you take somebody in on the couch and say, here are the boundaries, and within 5 days, if these boundaries, if then we're going to sit down and we're going to talk and outskate, right? So there's a healthy way to do that, because then it's enabling, right? There's a difference between rescuing and enabling. I don't have the archetype. I'm a healer. I'm teach a man to fish, not give a man to fish. Give a man to fish? I'll give a man a fish, teach a man to fish. Sorry, person. Keep it gender neutral. 2019. Please breathe. My angels, one card in clarity for this rescue archetype. Rescuer archetype, this Capricorn collective sun, moon, rising sun. What do they need to know about that rescuer archetype? What do they need for this new moon to full moon next? Well, that's about spiritual growth. So something is being asked of you. Now, I'm just going to say, I've never fully experienced a phase of my life of spiritual growth where I got what I wanted all the way through. I got what I needed. So in terms of a waxing moon thing, like if you can really see like every breath is about my spiritual growth, not just this situation. There is a larger thing. If I'm having to rescue someone, perhaps myself, because that's in there too. It's part of self-care, part of self-love. But whether it's the shadow or the light that you're dealing in, okay, haven't done anything wrong. This is the archetype. This is the pattern. This is the lesson. This is all about my spiritual growth. Obviously, someone is suffering, right? Otherwise, why, right? It's like provides strength and support to others in crisis. So there has to be some kind of crisis. Hopefully, it's not an infinite crisis. Poor Barry Allen. Come on, he's the lead of the show. They're going to kill him off? No. I don't know insider info there, just I understand show business. He's so cute. Let's ask the goddesses. Work-a-dirk-a-dirk, Professor Tangent. Do-do-do-do-do-do, woo-woo. My goddesses, please, one card in clarity for this Capricorn collective sun, moon, rising sign for this new moon to full moon next. We've got the rescuer archetype with spiritual growth. I mean, very strong, very clear, healing family archetype with spiritual growth. So my goddesses, please, for the divine feminine within this Capricorn collective, we're using Daughters of the Moon Tarot for this. What's going on in their inner world, their own divine feminine? Well, we got the Pisces card. So for Capricorn, there's definitely some mutable water going on. There's some shifting of emotions. Maybe not so much the moodiness of the Cancerian energy. And of course, there can be a Pisces archetype involved in this in some way. But then really, they're either mirroring or bringing up deep sensitivity. Look, I'm a Pisces moon. I'm familiar with it. So that sense of something deep, something intuitive, really, really go deep if you can to sense the difference between emotion and intuition, because they're not exactly the same thing. Oh, I thought I turned off the heating system. Hold on one second. Magic clap. Sorry about that. I didn't look at the checklist. I tried to wing it the day before Thanksgiving. Sue me. Don't. So with this Piscean energy here, the divine feminine, the goddess is really saying what's going on for you in your interior world. Really try and suss out the difference between emotion, which may be reactionary, which may be something, old emotional baggage being triggered, as opposed to, or in contrast to, I should say, because it's hard to differentiate, what is really the deeper knowing, and know that you might be picking up empathic, all sorts of shit going on from those around you, particularly those rescued. So really use that as part of your spiritual growth, even if you have to stop and go, Is this me I'm feeling, or is it them, or is it them, or is it all of them together? Right? Because if you have that divine feminine predominance like I do, we're the emotionally sensitive, the empathic, right? The intuitive. Not that we don't have the masculine energy. We're going to check that next with the Mythic Tarot. But that Pisces card, there's some psychic depth there. And I don't like using that word psychic. Empathic, I prefer. Intuitive, I much prefer. But psyche in terms of the soul, of feeling a lot. So just make sure, sometimes you do need to walk away. And I don't mean from a situation. I mean literally get 100 feet or more away. Like disconnect from the energy fields of those around you and take a few deep breaths. You find your center, another way of saying it, right? And then walk back in, knowing that what you feel is what's going on in the room and it's not necessarily you. Good. Let's ask the gods about the divine masculine using the Mythic Tarot. Please, my gods, one card in clarity for the divine masculine energy in this Capricorn collective sun, moon, rising sign for this new moon. 2 full moon next, please, one card in clarity for them. What's going on in their yang energy, their divine masculine? Well, Page of Pentacles, an immature offer, an immature beginning. Now, immature doesn't mean bad, right? A seed is an immature plant, right? It's the seed of the thing. So sort of like the Ace of Pentacles with that new offer where it's like solid in foundation. This is like a message, an offer of some kind. Really giving forth, just like a little boy, just think, do you want apple? Right? Like, just, you want wanna? New opportunity there, certainly, or a message. You know, pages are messengers. That's why I never really enjoyed giving astrological, zodiacal correspondence to them, because they're messengers. Don't necessarily have to be people. Can be a notification. Wow, that's what just came through. A notification. Like something comes in about a physical occurrence or event, which would make sense with the rescuer, right? So like your divine masculine, again, there's a difference between react and respond. This is coming from them. The gods in particular, they're like the divine masculine, be really sure that you check with your gut, with your intuition, your, like, is this emotional reaction or is this intuitive response? You will have the reaction first, most likely, right? You'll feel it in your body. But if it's about the past, right, then it's emotion. Then it's something triggered. Oh no, not this again. But breathe through that and say, okay, let me just step back a minute or two. You don't have to like take the week off. Pull back, ground center. Get away from other energy fields. Go to trees, nature, any of that, right? Earth sign. Grab a rock, whatever, a rock, a crystal, whatever. Breathe and then really sense, okay, what is this message? What's going on in my body? Am I fight or flight? Has a new energy downloaded into me where the rescuer with spiritual growth is on the table? Yeah. So that you will be able to respond. In other words, response is considered an intuitive, or reaction is like knee-jerk. A knee-jerk reaction, a reflex. Being triggered is being triggered. Nothing wrong with getting triggered, honestly. Getting triggered is a reaction, but then to pull back a moment and choose how to respond, right? That's the power of choice. Big difference. Difference between lead and gold, really. So let's ask the masters to clarify here. Now, for those of you who are not new to my readings, this is half of the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, because I took the suit of the problem suit and kept it on the shelf for this one. It's fucking Thanksgiving week, thank you very much. That we're dealing with the other 3 suits, luck, healing, and grace, the suits each, right? So for the new people, usually this deck is twice the size, and the Womp Womp cards, the Debbie Downer deck, man, not fun. Not for Thanksgiving. This is Waxing Moon. Let's keep it a little aloft. A little aloft. Lorna left. Nice deep breath, everyone. Please, one card in clarity, my masters, for this Capricorn collective sun, moon, rising sign. What do they need? Considering they've got the rescuer, spiritual growth, the Pisces card, and the Page of Pentacles. What say you? Trust. Now, trust in who? Trust in what? Now, I am not Wiccan, but I have adopted certain aspects of the Wiccan Read poetic version by Doreen Valiente. Well, by the Wiccan law ye must in perfect love and perfect trust. But perfect love and perfect trust of who? Perfect love and perfect trust of the divine. And yes, everything is divine. All is God. All is one. But here in the game, not so much, right? This can very much be about trust the divine voice inside of you. Trust your intuition. Trust your divine masculine and divine feminine imbalance. Trust your spiritual growth. And trust that this rescuing situation, this archetype in you, is not by accident, right? That you may very well be called upon to trust yourself, but now you know about the shadow and the light of this one, the lead and the gold, how to alchemize. So we'll address that one more time because we have one more card down. Sorry, I didn't cough all day long. I quit smoking. And finally, over the last dregs of the head cold that ate Holbrook, but still, as soon as I start doing these readings, sorry, it'll stop. I'm not going back to smoking cigarettes. Everybody's like, just don't stop because you have a head cold. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm done. I'll miss them. I've let go of a lot this past year. Those cigarettes. Bye. Bye, American Spirit Yellows. Maybe at a party every now and again, because I'm badass that way. My higher selves and the higher selves of all involved, please, one card in clarity for this Capricorn collective. Sun, moon, rising sign for this new moon to full moon next. What do they need, considering we've got the rescuer, the spiritual growth, the Pisces card, the Page of Pentacles, and trust. Trust in who? The gods alone, in my book most days. Trust ourselves, trust the truth, trust the divine plan and play. Please, a whisper of love for the higher selves, from the higher selves of all involved in this Capricorn collective. Embrace your emotions. Don't push down your feelings or judge your emotions, all right? Love what arises. Love what arises, right? It's all divine energy, right? If everybody wants to go on about fifth dimensional consciousness and then talk about, well, don't feel negativity. Well, if everything is God, then that's just divine energy that it's forgotten itself. It's waiting to be loved and embraced. That's embracing the shadow. That's the badass part of it. What are you going to be? A light chaser your whole life, right? It's like you are the light. Integrate whatever rises. Just don't let it possess you. Don't key anybody's card. Don't drunk text. Don't. You know what the toxic behavior is. This is about spiritual growth. And remember, ultimately it's a quantum game. You can't get it wrong. You never get it done. Thank you, Abraham Hicks, for that one. And in the quantum sense, it's true. And if you don't get it all in this life, that's okay. You can actually come back and replay this life. It's called meta-incarnation. Boom. Thank you, Matt Kahn. Now that I realize, no wonder the amount of deja vu in this life. I literally have done this before. So embrace your emotions. But remember, emotions and intuition. Sometimes you have to get through the trigger, the emotional baggage, that the situation itself has been orchestrated by divine perfection to clear something up in you, right? So that you can get to the wisdom. It's like a judgment, right? It's like, oh, don't be judgy, don't be judgy. You don't have to act on the judgment. But what judgment usually is this piece of deep intuition, a piece of gold in a thin veneer of lead, right? So we reject the whole thing. It's like, oh no, that's negative. I can't be negative. Where what if it really is an intuitive reaction underneath all of that? It's like, that's not right for me. Something's off there. Something's off there. Like if we taught children how to do this, there would be less molestation, right? There would be less abuse because the child would be able to... Self-esteem, a verb, and intuition, a noun and a process, are linked in that way. So to know that there is a difference between your emotions, which you might be feeling in the collective, might not even be your own. So even when you are feeling other people's stuff empathically in your own body, as hard as it is, as you feel it, you heal it. You clear it for all of humanity. That's the quantum model of fifth dimensional unity consciousness. And it's not like that's new. The terms are new. The perception of it is new. The experience of it is new. But it's how it has always been. That's how healers can heal. Because they're healing what rises within them. Well, that was a fuckload more than I was expecting to give in a reading. But there you are. Capricorn rescuer, spiritual growth, right? This is all about fulfilling your need for spiritual growth. while you're being emotionally, intuitively tuned, feeling the collective. With this Page of Pentacles, an offer that sort of pops up out of nowhere, but it is something physical. And with that rescuer archetype, it's going to probably be something involving you as a rescuer. But for you to trust in yourself, for you to trust in the divine, for you to trust in the plan, and embrace your emotions as you go. Now look, that sounds like a lot for a waxing moon, but your Capricorn, slow and steady wins the race, babies. I love my Caps. I love all signs except some of them. I love everybody, but man, those air signs really bless us all. God's bless us all. Save us from the insanity of Gemini's. Any planet. Gemini, I tease the gems because I've dated enough of them. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please like and subscribe. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of this new moon in Sagittarius to full moon in Gemini next month. But for now, my mountain goats, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.